The series Следствие вели is a masterful exploration of human complexity through the lens of criminal investigation, and the episode titled Что в составе человека delves deep into the interplay between biology, psychology, and morality. From the very opening scene, the camera lingers on a crime scene that appears ordinary but is laden with subtle signs of human frailty. The investigator's meticulous approach to the evidence is not just procedural but philosophical, prompting the audience to consider what constitutes the essence of a person. One of the most striking elements of this episode is how the forensic details are interwoven with intimate glimpses into the lives of both the victims and the perpetrators. As the scene transitions from the sterile confines of the laboratory to the dimly lit apartments where the suspects live, the cinematography shifts subtly, employing softer lighting and tighter framing to create a sense of intimacy and unease simultaneously. The narrative technique here is brilliant, using contrast not just visually but emotionally to underscore the duality of human nature. In one scene, the main investigator examines a series of fingerprints while recalling a personal anecdote about the first case he ever solved. This moment is layered with tension because it humanizes the investigator, showing that even those trained to be objective are inevitably shaped by past experiences and personal biases. It is in these details that the episode excels, moving beyond the superficial mechanics of crime solving into the psychological terrain of understanding people. The dialogue, though understated, is incredibly revealing, capturing the moral ambiguities of each character. The suspect is portrayed not as a one-dimensional villain, but as a deeply conflicted individual whose motivations are rooted in experiences that are both relatable and horrifying. This duality creates a tension that is sustained throughout the episode, keeping the viewer constantly questioning who is truly culpable and what defines moral responsibility. The pacing is deliberate, almost meditative, allowing each piece of evidence, each expression, to resonate fully with the audience. In one of the most powerful sequences, the investigators reconstruct a crime using forensic reconstructions while simultaneously intercutting with flashbacks of the suspect's life. The juxtaposition of past and present, cause and consequence, gives the audience a profound sense of empathy even as they confront acts that are morally repugnant. The series' ability to oscillate between analytical detachment and emotional immersion is part of what makes it extraordinary. Another remarkable aspect is how the episode addresses the concept of human composition, not only in a literal sense, through biological evidence, but metaphorically, exploring how personality, trauma, and environment combine to form an individual. It raises questions that are rarely articulated in conventional crime dramas. How much of a person's actions are determined by biology, by circumstance, by choice? One particularly memorable scene involves the use of forensic chemical analysis, where the camera lingers on minute details of tissue samples under the microscope. The visual focus on the tiny intricacies of the human body serves as a metaphor for the complexity of human nature itself. Even the background music, minimalist and haunting, reinforces the thematic tension between the fragility and resilience of human beings. The episode closes not with a neat resolution, but with lingering ambiguity, forcing the audience to reflect on the larger questions it raises. And as someone who has followed the series closely, I find this episode especially compelling because it merges procedural rigor with philosophical depth, creating a viewing experience that is both intellectually stimulating and emotionally affecting. The subtle interplay of light, sound, and narrative pacing exemplifies the director's mastery, making Что в составе человека not just an episode, but a meditation on what it means to be human.